Hello, everybody. Let me change the intro of this live stream. Drawing live with Tim Lee. All right. And then the next thing I need to do really quickly is adjust my camera. I think it's this one for continuous. Which one's continuous? All the way down? No, definitely not. That might be continuous. Is that continuous? I can't tell. All right, well, we'll figure it out in a second, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, let me turn monetization on before we become incredibly popular and everyone wants to watch us. Good afternoon. As of 15 minutes ago, it's afternoon. Since noon only consists of 60 seconds out of the day, which is an awkward thing to think about. And welcome to Draw Too Much, where today I am going to be continuing yet another commission. Okay, I don't think that camera's focusing on me. Let's try. Is it that one? You know what? I'll manually focus it. I don't care. Watch me. I'll manually focus. I'm going to be about right here. So we'll focus on my hand right about there. And hopefully, yeah. Okay, we got it. Okay. Let's go ahead and change our screen. I think it's the screen capture. Oh, perfect. Except you're on the wrong screen, dude. So let's switch this to... Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, a humongous warning to everybody. Unfortunately, I am uploading a grand total of 31 hours of content onto the internet right now, which could mean that our live stream is going to be absolutely disgusting. So there may be a lot of cutting in and out. Do not quote me on that. And I apologize profusely if that's what happens. But yes, I am uploading a ton of stuff, totally killing the bandwidth in my house right now to try and make this happen. If things are super fuzzy, let me know. That is probably the reason why, and I probably won't be able to change it because I'm just uploading a whole hard drive of hundreds of gigabytes of content right now to my Google Drive. Okay. So we got to get back to work on Skittles here. And we've made some great progress on him. I feel better about it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it still has his personality in it much better than the previous versions I've done. So we're going to go ahead and quickly spat some color into his name. And then we'll move that into the couple caricature I have that I'm working on with him and his girlfriend. And then I'll have this one hopefully done. I'd like to see it done today. So we'll see. There's still an awful lot of stuff to do, but it's actually a possibility today. So we will see very shortly how we do. All right, let's go ahead and just grab a color. Blue is his goggles, so the color that would work well, it's would admittedly be a yellow. I'll paint it in yellow and we'll go from there. Could you make anatomical illustrations? Not really. I'm a cartoonist. I focus on doing funny stuff. I haven't done anything anatomical in forever, and I'm not very good at it in the first place, unfortunately. I learned anatomy just to be able to do it well enough to do my caricatures and cartooning. Thank you for the question. But yeah, no, I'm terrible at anatomy. That's why I enjoy exaggerating things. Much more enjoy exaggerating things. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, Matt. You have a good one. And let's see, what else? Last night, maybe you guys might have seen, I hopped on for a little bit in a little bit of a different format, and I worked on a painting off of a picture that I took from a couple years ago when my wife and I went out to Yellowstone National Park. And that's the painting right there. It's still in progress, but I actually feel really good about it because I feel like I really connected with the acrylic paints that I was using. I'm not skilled with acrylics just yet, and I'm um, too focused to want to do anything but acrylics because oil paints just take far too long to dry. And even if they didn't take too long to dry because you used a medium to help them dry faster, well, then suddenly you're dealing with having to clean your brushes. And I gotta tell you, I had a crazy day the other day. I was using some oil paints and painting, and I was having a good time. But then I went and I tried to wash my brushes in water, and I just made such a mess. Everything I touched started turning red. Thank goodness I was in our basement sink and I'm trying to clean up after myself, and I'm running out of turpentine and running out of cleaning agents, and I was freaking out like I'm going to destroy our house if I can't get this figured out. And you don't have to worry about that with acrylic. It's just so much easier. It's not easier to paint with, but it's easier to clean up after yourself. So it's like I really struggle to want to do anything but acrylics, and so I've been trying to learn specifically acrylics because you dilute them in water. If you wanna make them slower dry, well, you get some slowing gel to make them dry slower, which I honestly haven't really seen any success with that. But there are mediums for that, and yeah, there's so many different dynamics. It's like, yeah, I can skip that. I'd be happy to skip that. All right. Let's see. We got that done. Let's go ahead and mark this. I'm going to check my feed out on my phone. Disconnect from the internet of the house here. Because, like I said, I'm so sorry if you are struggling to watch this. This is really just due to I'm using all the bandwidth up right now. Like every bit of it to upload all this stuff. Let me see if this is working okay. Yeah, it's a little fuzzy. I apologize about that. It does look a little fuzzy. So, that's clearing up a little bit. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh, yeah, you can hear me. All right, cool. So, at least I checked that out on my phone just to make sure. Okay. Moving on. Let's go ahead and get some orange in here. Okay. Alright, we should give this guy a shirt color. And he's wearing white in his photo, but I'd like to give him something different. Blue. If you do a try portion, it would actually lean towards the pinks. Not really what I'm going for, but maybe if I push it to the reds? I don't know. Maybe we'll just give him a black shirt. Or gray. I tried to use the color harmonies as much as possible, but at a certain point in time, it's just like, nope. So let's just go ahead and get all this filled in. Okay. I think that'll work. I think I'll leave that just like that. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to do that in gray too. There we go. All right. Skittles is sort of done. Let's go ahead and crop this. I'm not sure if I'm feeling quite good about it just yet, but considering all the time that we've spent on him, 3 or 4 live streams, there's a certain point in time where you kind of got to call it. Oh, let's do red. And what I'll do is, let's go back to his name. We'll paint this red. And then go back to this. Lock the layer. Let's go to white. There we go. And let's lock this layer. And let's reach into the purples here just a touch with an airbrush. Now we're just going to go ahead and shade that S to have that fun little Skittle look. Little highlight here. There we go. My favorite Skittle is the green one. Not lime, but the green one, which is apple. Apple. Green apple. That doesn't bug me. I don't even think they can hear you because my microphone is the one I wear on my face, and it like knocks out 90% of sound. I'll hear the dogs chewing on stuff around me, and then I'll look it up later in my editing of the videos and stuff, and I can't hear a thing. Yeah, it's nice when it comes in handy. Say again? Yeah. All right. Let's go find this hair. I just want to give him a little bit of extra dynamic here. Good day to Infinite Touch. How you doing? Whoa, might want to lock that layer. Boosh. All right, maybe a little darker, just to kind of give it a little... There we go. Cool. All right, feeling good about that. Let me go ahead and open up his girlfriend's. Is that Ribbit? Let's see if this is it. Yeah, there's hers. So this is the one I finished up a little bit before, and you can see hers says Skittles. I gotta change that name, unfortunately, because I found out later, after working hard. Doing great, thank you. How are you doing? I'm doing very well. Getting done some work today. Working on some caricatures. So I can get paid, make some cash. And so I gotta change Skittles here, unfortunately, to Ribbit. So, because I got her and her boyfriend's names incorrect. So let's go ahead and start with that, and then I need to mess with the goggles and get them looking a little bit more like her goggles and get some antennas and stuff on there. So we'll get this fixed right up. So let's go ahead and start with Ribbit. What do we want Ribbit to look like? She seems like a bubbly kind of personality with her hair and stuff, so part of me thinks I want to do something kind of fun with her name. Kind of like bubble letters. All right, BB. I-T. Do I like that or don't I? I don't like the T. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have a little fun with this. Let's see what would happen if we draw some little ribbit faces here. So some little... there go the dogs. I think it might be because of your blow dryer. Oh, they can still hear it. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That could work. Okay, let's do some inking. I'm gonna merge these layers together because this is not as clean as I want it to be, but close. So I'm gonna go ahead and build up my stabilization and we'll do the inking properly here. Okay. Just so you know, folks, I am taking commissions. If anyone is curious about getting drawn, Caricature start at $100. Go up from there. And I am absolutely taking commissions right now. We have, let's see, I have this piece that I got to finish. And then I have one other client. I have a personal family piece I'm working on. And then I will have, and then I'm doing a friend's piece. And once those are all done, and those usually don't take... Oh, I'm glad you find that satisfying. Thank you. Once I get those done, then I'll be able to move on to other commissions. But there's always a little bit of a wait to get drawn, so... But recently, I've been doing it all on YouTube Live, and everyone seems to like it, so... I've tried to stay on YouTube Live as much as possible when I'm working on these commissions, so... You would actually be able to get to see yourself drawn, and you help me in my little YouTube passions that I do. All right, let's go ahead and get the faces here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that ribbit layer well, let's just go ahead and color it in. And because it is ribbit, I'm going to go ahead and paint it green because I can, and then we'll draw the faces separately. Let's go ahead and get them in here. I'm going to cheat though. We'll go ahead and do a reference layer and just boop, 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 boop. Easiest way to quickly knock things out, speed things up. Are you any good with lettering? Did you ever do graffiti art? No, I never did graffiti art, but I would say I'm reasonable at graffiti. It's more of being... It was a requirement to kind of learn it based on kind of some of the stuff that I did while I worked at Disney, which is lettering for names and caricatures. So it wasn't something that I really do graffiti on. Like, it wasn't something that I practiced or tagged anything or anything like that. I've only used aerosol cans on something like once in my life. And that was just recently. So honestly, this is all just learning to do it for the need in caricature, and that was it. So graffiti kind of came after the fact, and I haven't done much of it. Some people have made a career on it. I personally haven't. I've made a career on the caricature side of things, and the graffiti has happened a little bit more naturally in that. Good question, though. Let's go ahead and get some more intense colors here. There we go. Once again, I do apologize, guys, if the internet seems a little, the video seems a little cruddy. I'm not losing any frames. Well, I dropped 58 frames, but unfortunately, I'm uploading a ton of videos and stuff off an old hard drive onto my Google Drive, and so I have been I've killed killed my computer's bandwidth to make it happen, and while trying to do this live today as well, I'm sure it's causing a little bit of issue to the to the feed. Hey, look who's back! It's Santiago, also known as Pocket. All right, let's go ahead really quickly here. Since I am working with this other gal, let me go ahead and change this image, just so you're not confused why I'm drawing a girl and yet this guy is here. Let's see, here she is. Book. And we need her goggles here in a little while anyway. There we go. Let's go ahead and scale her down so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, now that might make a bit more sense for you guys. Everything is crystal clear from what I see. Excellent. Glad to hear it. It's a miracle. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to use the reference here to get these little guys drawn up. Let's see. I'm going to do this in a different color just so I can see what I'm doing, but I am going to try and do it as best I can in an ink form. Okay. And I'm not going to put a lot of time or energy into these little frogs. It's just kind of more for fun to add to the names. I don't want them to be overly... This one could be cute, though. Maybe we'll do this. So maybe what I'll do with this one is I'll draw him like this to be the dot for the eye. But then maybe what we'll do is maybe we'll draw him with some fingers here on the T so that it kind of... Maybe we'll give him some fingers. Here, let's try it this way. So we'll go here, and then a pad. There you go. There, and a pad, and there, and a pad. That makes more sense. Cool. Maybe we'll do the same thing here. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and turn them to black and get them colored up. So we'll just go ahead and do a hue and contrast. Drop the brightness and the contrast. Oh, hello. Interesting. All right, we'll cheat. We'll go to tonal correction. Remove the luminosity. There we go. All right, now we can turn off that background layer, and now we're going to color the frogs. I do want them to be a slightly different color than the text. I think that frogs' hands should look would look better on the B and R. I thought about that, but I'm going to go with this. I think it'll work. I think it'll work. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get those colored in there. And I need to make sure I'm on the right layer, because in a second here, we're going to do some quick erasing. Okay. All right. Now I've gotten to the point with this caricature where I'm trying to throw in the fun little details, but I'm also just trying to get it done. After doing this for 3 or 4 videos, and this is supposed to be maybe an hour and a half caricature at max, this has broken every part of my budget and my brain, and it is time to get it done and move on. So, move on quickly and get on to the next stuff so I can make my cash and keep plugging. Love what I do, but money is the key thing when it comes to some of this stuff. We're unfortunately in it to make money sometimes. And I have dedicated an awful lot of time for the price that they are paying for these. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So I missed that. We'll fix that in a second. Let's get that eye out of there. Let's go to the hard eraser here so I can speed this up. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's come back in here and make some fun little adjustments. Let's grab this, and I am just going to go ahead and give him a body. It wasn't a plan, but I think we're just going to do that. And we'll come back here and erase this and that. Okay. Let's go back to this frog. Oh. Fill in that color. Turn off my layer lock. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and get these colored now. Go ahead and grab some yellow. And let's go ahead and just knock some into the eyes here really quick. And I am using an airbrush to do this, which isn't fully on purpose because I'm going to be using this in a second for some other stuff. So it's just, I have the airbrush, I'll go ahead and just work with it, even though it'd be better to work with a hard brush for this. But my theory is a couple fun little passes here on these guys. On the chins and the lower body. Kind of like that. Would be kind of cute. Okay. Doesn't need to be completely. And then I want to go to pink. I'm just going to go ahead and put some cute little... Oh, wait a minute. No, they got orange. Orange. Let's go orange. There we go. Orange fingers. There we go. Those are cute. Let's give him some highlights in the eyes now. I'm just doing too much. But that's the point. If you can get away with doing it, do it. But do it quickly. So purpose here is to try and make them look a little moisturized. So putting some highlight in just some areas where if the skin is wet, it'll hopefully kind of reflect light. So cute. She'll like that. Here's hoping she will. I assume she will like that. Okay. Very cute. Okay, let's get these goggles figured out. Need to get this layer put away. So let's get all these moved in there. There we go. Okay. So we can turn that on and off. That's fine. And she's wearing a gray shirt as well. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I'm more worried about these goggles because I was struggling with them about 3 days ago. So what we'll do here is try and see what we can create. It'd be really cute to actually put a ribbit face on that. I think that would be really cute to actually put like big frog eyes on there. It's not what her goggles look like because her goggles actually match her hair a bit more. But I'm not afraid to bend the rules to make these kinds of things happen. Let's see. First off, what a frog face would look like on here if I went that route. Okay, I'm on a separate layer, so I'm not messing anything up. Do I like that? I'm not sure if I do. Yeah, I'm starting to like it. Let's go for it and see what happens. Okay. There we go. All right. Speaking of which, might be a good game for you to play on your channel. It's a difficult 90s game. Battletoads, huh? Huh, I'll take a look. Right now, sometime today, I'm going to have to record my next episode of playing Mist Revelation. And if I don't do that, my viewership's going to get pretty mad at me. I took last week off to focus on these drawings, and I got one message of someone going, "Hey, where's the next episode? I'm looking for it." I'm like, I said I didn't do it. Are you going to do it again? Are you giving up on it? No, I'm not giving up on it. I promise. It's a Facebook message. That's nothing important. Okay. Let's see what happens with this color idea now. Let's grab some. We're going to put a little bit more effort into this color on the goggles just because it's kind of a central piece of this. We'll see what we come up with on this, though. There we are. So we're just going to start with a base layer so I can lock it. Actually, what I'll probably do is drop it underneath the, drop it underneath the shadow layer. So the shadows that I've already created on the goggles will mirror onto here. Thank you for everyone who's here watching. If you don't mind, I would greatly appreciate if you'd smack that like button for me if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And if you have any questions at all, I love answering your questions. I go on rants, I get detailed, I get off topic, I get on topic. It's a lot of fun. So don't be afraid to ask any questions if you have any. Okay. There we go. So that shadow's adding in there quite nicely now. Looks like we'll need to go ahead and make another layer. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a off green for right now, since I don't know what color I want it to be. And we'll just go ahead and fill in the top of the goggles with that off green. The pastel green. Pastel. Okay. There we go. And now we'll go ahead and start doing some shading to this little frog. And we're really going to put a lot of attention on those eyes. That's my theory. I want this frog to look pretty intense by the time I'm done with it. So we'll lock that layer off. I need to go ahead and paint the eyes now, which I'll do with the crazy yellow. But we're going to make those eyes look really, really cool. That's my theory anyway. Once again, wasting too much time on stuff that I don't need to do when the client might not even like it, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it, because that's what I do. It's what he do. He's what he do. I did it on the wrong layer, though, so I got to go back and do it again. Is this the layer? Yeah, this is the layer. Hey, now. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's lock off that layer and let's do some adjustments to it. Okay. There we go. Not what I meant to do. Go back where you were. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Okay, let's go back over here. Whoa, let's do that instead. There we go. There we go. Cool. I like that. It's kind of cute. There's an awful lot of green, a little too much, but we'll play with that for now and see what we get out of that. I feel like it's a bit much. We'll see what happens as we move on here. I think the first thing I want to do is take the name and move it down a bit more. Okay. Okay. All right, next thing to do is to draw in her antennas on her goggles. Goggles. Got to draw on the goggles. Let's see. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because it's going to cover over a lot of what I already have for her. So I think what I might try to do is make it look like she cut the sticker and applied it on top of the antenna. So for instance, here, go ahead and pretend that the antenna for her goggles is here. Okay. Okay, kind of like that. And I know that it has that cut right here, which is fine. And it looks like it's hooked on via a 3D print, which I'm not desperate to draw. I don't think it's a thing that needs to be in this caricature, but I do become very detail-oriented, and I hate that about myself sometimes. Keep original image, no. Keep aspect ratio, yes. Let's just shrink this down just a touch. There we go. We'll wait for it to process that. Okay. Now let's zoom back in here and just see how it looks. It's the little things that make people happy sometimes. So I try to go the extra mile where I can. There's the goggles, there's the antenna. So let's see what would happen if we put the antenna up here. I think this side might need to come out a bit more. Okay, maybe up a bit higher. Like that. Okay. And now let's go ahead and build the print. So it's like that, and then it's got two tabs that hook on here and go back over the top of the goggles. And unfortunately, the antenna needs to plug into the receiver, which for fat sharks sits on the side of the goggles over here, and usually has a screen right here, depending on what module you have in your goggles. I have an ancient module in mine. And then it looks like those antennas are stacked like that to plug in, and then wired down and underneath the side there like that. So I think what I'm going to try and do is make it look like that sticker has been applied over everything as much as possible, just to kind of try and keep that wrap look, that sticker wrap look like you can buy for your FPV goggles. So let's go ahead and start the real drawing now. With my stabilization all the way turned up, we got our rough sketch. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep this line pretty thin, hopefully. Okay. So we're going to come to here. We're going to build the nose piece, which isn't really necessary. But that's how they design the goggles. And the 3D print, which is going to... Actually, I need to do this first. Okay, and then where this connects and goes back. Okay, like that. And then we'll just go ahead and put that 3D print there and make it look like it's a connected piece of software or hardware. And then that wire definitely goes underneath this piece. That's fine. So we'll go ahead and start building that. So we'll build up the jack coming off of the module. And I'm not desperate in getting extremely exact on this. That's why you don't see me trying to build the jacks in any way specific here. I'm just building a black silhouette of the jack sitting there, and then I can go ahead and run the wire into here. I won't even shade it, most likely, because I want the attention more on the graphic on the goggles than on the hardware on the goggles. So if I can keep that frog as the centric part of the design, I would much rather do that. So unfortunately, we will be cutting off a bit of his eye in this, but that's usually how some of this stuff goes in real life. So I think they will appreciate the detail that's going into trying to make sure that this is done right. Okay. So like the screen usually sits inside of a 3D print inside there. So we'll build it so it's like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and kill our sketch layer. Perfect. Now we can start readjusting the sticker portion of this, so hopefully I can make it look right. So the best way to do that is let's delete some unnecessary layers. Let's save so I don't lose track of what I've built. Shadows are fine. Background's fine. So what we're looking for now, I'm going to merge a bunch of layers together, and I'm going to build the goggles as a separate layer. So all I have to do is cut that sticker up and then place it in a different position on here. So what I'll do is I'll grab the frog. I basically want to make duplicates of everything. So let me see what I have here. This is needing to be duplicated. That's needing to be duplicated. What is this one? Yeah, we need to duplicate that. And that is just the head strap. I'm not worried about the head strap. What's this one? The eyes, the skin. And what's this one? No, that's the ink layer underneath. That one's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these in their own folder. I'm going to duplicate it. And then I want to take that layer and I want to merge selected layers. There we go. Now that's a solid piece that I can work with. So we'll turn off the bottom layer. There's the top layer. So now what I want to do is we're going to grab our selection tool. I'm going to make a big selection around the frog. And I'm going to move that layer. And I just want to move it up and over a little bit. I want it to disconnect itself from the lower layer. So we're going to hit OK to that. We're going to turn the I'm going to erase what I have here first. And actually, I'm going to play it even safer. I'm going to mask it. So with that mask layer turned on, we'll go ahead and erase/mask the excess here. And yes, I know you guys are going, don't forget about that highlight that's overlapping on that I will get there. So first things first, we're just going to mask off this. Okay. That looks good. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is mask off the eye going into there. I'm okay with it being on top of the module. That's fine. It wouldn't be on there. So I think we're good with that. So let's see how it looks now. Once we turn on the bottom layer, there we go. So it looks properly shifted, like it's been re-stickered on top. That looks good to me. Hi, Sam Sam. What's up, little girl? How you doing? You getting your stretch on? Yeah? All right. Okay, so I feel good about that. I think that looks pretty good. I do want to go ahead and we're going to make some other alterations now as well. Let me see what this is. That one's fine. Now the next thing to do is to go to my line layers. This one. We're going to put a mask on this. And with this one, I want to mask off the goggles there. What's this one? Good. So on this layer now, I want to build up the outer layer just because I like a very thick, bold line on the outside of the caricature. So we're just going to do that. Let's not go too big, but get that bump. There we go. And down. Okay, and down. There we go. Okay. That way it looks like it's part of the piece there. So that looks pretty cool. All right, let's go look at that highlight now. So we're going to go find that highlight. There it is. And I'm not going to worry about bringing it over onto the other drawing. I'm just going to mask it out. Or just even, I don't even care about it per se. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase it right to the edge. Just like that. Okay? And let's go ahead and grab the green here. Find the layer that I colored in. I'm pretty sure it was a mask layer, so we'll look through a couple of the masked layers. Is that it? That's it. So we'll select that one. I think I can paint in here. We'll see if it'll let me. Yep, okay, we're good. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that to the top there. Okay, make sure it's all nice and filled in. Cool. I think that looks pretty fun. We'll see if she likes it. Let's go ahead and just for giggles, because the more I can make this customized for them, the better off I will have the chance of not having to redo something because they're just not a fan of something I did. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to make sure the goggle 3D print that holds that in place is the same color. Okay. And I think it's a black mount there, so we're going to go ahead and go with the black mount. Off-grade black, that's fine. Looks rather reflective as well, so we'll go ahead and add just a touch of reflective light on it. Not much, just a little dot to lighten that up. Okay. Not too worried about that. Now, what I was thinking I would do, and I'll do it on a separate layer just in case they don't like it, is we'll go ahead and do a very, very quick just it's the little things that you can do quickly that they will like the most. So, and I know that's actually a pyro drone antenna. If they're a fan or they're sponsored by Pyro Drone, they'll want that there. But otherwise, I think it would be more their style if I try to do something a bit more customized. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I hope they dig that, because that you gotta admit, that's a nice little touch. It's a nice little touch. Okay, now, next thing we need to go mess with is the original layer over here. I'm gonna go find the... Is that the one? No. I gotta go find a few things here because I need to get this marked off of the goggles here. Okay, like this layer, for instance. Okay, that's fine. We need the ink lines for the frog's face. And I'm beginning to lose track on where I got things. There it is. I'm just going to erase it. I'm not going to worry about masking it. Same with this. There we go. So now I can put just something dark there that will simulate a goggle screen. Okay. All right. Now I'm looking for that green that I used over top the goggles. It's here somewhere. There's one. So let's see if we can work with this. Yep, there we go. But not the top. And that has me a little wondering. So, oh, there it is. Perfect. So we'll just erase that right there. That corner there. A little cleanup. There we are. Okay, so that should begin giving that a little bit more of a goggle effect the way they would expect. And it's still very much in silhouette. I'm not desperate to change that. If I do, I'm just going to do really, really simple, really light highlights. And when I mean light, I don't mean light like a lot of light color. I mean just a little touch of gray over top the elements. And I'll just do it on a separate layer. The cheapest form of it that I can do, just kind of like this. And same here. Just trying to show maybe that the cable has a little bit of light dancing on it. And just pull that through there. Same with this one. Just to try and separate it from the line work or whatnot. Something like that. You know, I'm not desperate in making that incredibly detailed and doing more than that per se. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. Now, technically, Ribbit FPV, I think, is their name, or it could be FPV Ribbit. I'm not sure which way. For now, I'm going to go ahead and cheat. We're going to go back to their name. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a cheating color with a rather large thing here. There we go. So just something that still gets that FPV in there, but it does it... No, not R. I don't like that. I think it needs to be a bit over. Okay. And then I'll probably just do like a drop shadow on the bottom of that or something just to help it along. I need to separate it from the background, so I'll just do another layer, pull it below with a airbrush, and very, very quickly just airbrush in drop shadow on there. And I bet you it's the simple things like this that people love, and they're easy to do. They take next to no effort, and for some reason they'll like how that pops, and their eye might catch that more than anything else. You never know what is going to make them excited. Just make sure that whatever you do not let your gradient that you did on that drop shadow fall on the side of that file. Because if you do that and they put that somewhere else, like right down here, that is falling off the file. So I'm just trying to clean that up a little. Same with here. That way they don't have a weird line wherever they put this in the future in the artwork, They put it on an airplane, they put it on a drone, they put it somewhere with a transparent color, they try to have it printed somewhere. You don't want them bumping into that and being like, well, why is there this weird line where the shadow's getting cut off? It was your fault, and you're the one who should fix that. So, which is only fair. So, you don't want some other artist fixing your artwork. You'd rather you fix it yourself. There we go. There we go. So we gave her a gray shirt. That'll work just fine. And that looks pretty cool. Actually, I really hope she likes that, because a lot of heart and time went into that. So the only thing I don't like right now is that the goggles are a little too dark. So I'm going to try and just drop the drop shadow on that a little. Okay. And you guys can see what's going on. The layer above it. Unfortunately, I can't just do anything about that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to find this layer that I created, and we're going to apply that mask. So let's get out of here. Let's click on the mask. I think it's click on the mask, isn't it? And we're going to apply mask to layer. Okay. Now that we've done that, now I should be able to erase the excess, and that should fix that issue. Yep. Okay, get the big eraser out. And we'll just knock all this stuff out of here. There we go. There we are. Now we can alter the bottom layer, make it less of a heavy effect, and hopefully that'll add to this in a way that she'll like. Ha! Very cool. Save it. That's a lot of work that went into that. Let's not lose it. Okay, you know what? Before I link them together, I do think I want to send these over for proof. So I think what I'll do is I just cheat and I take a screenshot of the final piece, and then we send that off for approval. So let's go ahead and do that. Easiest way to do that on Windows is to look up snip or snipping tool. And then in the snipping tool, it's put it on another window. You can create a new snip. So I'll pull this in here so you guys can see this. And I'm going to go new. Everything's going to get faded. And now you just simply click and drag on your image. And we're just going to go ahead and save as. I prefer to do it this way instead of sending the high-res file. I don't want to send the high-res file for approval, because then they can just take it and be like, oh, this is fine. This is still a really reasonable size file. You can still do stuff with it, but at the same time, ribbit. At the same time, I don't want it to be as high res as other options. All right, now Skittles. Let me go ahead and grab a screenshot of him. Okay, new. We might end up redrawing him. We'll see what they think of him. I hope they like it, but sometimes people aren't as much of a fan of our design, and I mean, I've drawn him 4 times. He's a harder draw when you get overly focused, so that's just the nature of the beast. Do you ever use watermarks on your proofs? No, I really don't. Thankfully, the people that I work with are very, very trustworthy people. People that I know and that have come to me because they have friends in the industries that I work with. So I don't use watermarks, mainly because I'm lazy. And don't mind me for really quickly stepping away and taking care of this, just getting it sent out. Let me do this really quick here while I do this. Boom. So if I do sense that someone is being a bit more picky than I'm used to, someone that I have not connected with before, maybe someone like yourselves who I haven't met you, and had extended conversations with you, then I might, if I get that, I get that weird feeling, then that's when I'll go the extra mile and do that. But 9 times out of 10, no. And the other side of this is most of my clients have already paid up front. I have everyone pay a 50% deposit. I do trust Too Easily Infinite. I do definitely trust Too Easily. But at the same time, there are some people that are really, really cool people that I've had the honor to work with that do deserve that trust until they fail me. And I've had people fail me, but usually they're not too bad a situation. And usually I've worked with some pretty close friends. So, for instance, this guy I just sent these 2 designs to, that he will send them out to his clients, because this is these are basically gifts he has purchased for his clientele that they use for their logos. So this is one of the perks of being one of the pilots with his teams that fly with him. So let me let him know. These are ready for proof, my friend. If they like them, then I will link them together. Let's see what else. And if they are itchy, I have done about, how long you guys think we've been doing this? About 2 hours, 2-hour live streams. So that puts us at 6 hours, about 8 hours, give or take, 6 to 8 hours. Then about 6 to 8 hours of live streaming of the drawing process. If they really want to see the see the hard work on this. Let's do youtube.com/draw too much. Boosh. Okay. Oh, no, wrong. Nope. Wrong link. Let's try Tim Michael Arts. I know, right? There we go. That's the correct link. Okay. All right, so proofs are sent over. If they approve those, then I will combine those caricatures into one. That will take care of that. So we're on to our next caricature. And actually, I have 2 that I need to work on. One is one for a friend named Sam. We started that caricature in the last live stream that we did. The other one I have is another paying client. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start some preliminary sketches on the paid client. Since I do not see Sam in here, I know he would like to be a part of the caricature process of drawing him, so I don't want to just draw him and him not being here to enjoy it. I did it to make him uncomfortable and have fun with him, because he's a really, really good guy, another good friend. And I know that if I was him, and he and I are very much the same animal, I would enjoy seeing the caricature of me drawn. So I will change gears and we'll start working on this other paid commission that I need to start focusing in on. And then the other thing that needs to happen. Oh, and of course, if you guys want to order a caricature, I'm happy to draw that as well. And we can actually begin some of the preliminary sketches and things like that even right now. So if anyone's interested, let me know. And prices usually start about $100, but I talk with you over what you're interested in. I do that privately with you on a separate chat. That way, you're not trying to speak all that stuff out here on the chat room per se. But let's go ahead and pull up our reference photos and get ready to work on this next one. This one's going to be a really fun one, actually, because this is a good size order, and it's going to come with a full face and body. It is a female, which adds a lot of extra dimension to this. And she wants to be sitting on bearings because she sells mechanical bearings. So that means that we're going to be doing some, what would be the word I'm looking for? We're going to be doing some kind of chrome kind of style to some of this stuff that we're going to be doing. So let me go ahead and start pulling together some of my references for this here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And as soon as I get things kind of organized up here, then I will turn my screen back on so that you can see everything. I'm going to go ahead and get everything saved that I've already done. I'm going to close out the links that I've already completed because I don't want to lose anything that I've worked on. And check my comments to make sure that everything is good on my phone, not missing any orders or anything like that. Looks like we're good. Okay, so now just go ahead and pull up our references for my next client and get ready to work on this one. So let's find our client. Here she is. And she sent over reference photos of everything I need. I think this is an adorable photo of her with her kid, so we will probably be utilizing this once it loads. Actually, I like this one too. And I'll walk you through all my processes of how I draw, what I'm looking for in caricatures that I think that people will appreciate. I appreciate her because she wants this exaggerated to an extent. But at the same time, it needs to be done with care. I mean, this is a professional business logo that she's going to be looking for. So, really trying to get that personality in her and still keep it professional is going to be really, really important. But she's got some great features. Got some nice big dimples. She's got some blinding eyes. So we'll have some fun with her here. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that reference photo in the feed so you guys can see it. We'll go ahead and find, I think it's this one. There we go. So let's change the photo. And let me find the reference for her that I just saved that I really like. This one's with her coworker. I think that one's a good fit. So this is the individual we'll be working on today. And I actually have one more reference photo I'd like to pull in, so I think we'll go ahead and bring in a second one here in a second. So let's go ahead and drop this out so it's behind the scenes. There we go. All right. And actually, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. And we'll take another image. And let's grab another image 4. And this one's going to be, I think this one's really cute. There we go. So let me go ahead and I like how her glasses, she's looking over her glasses, which I think is a cute look for this one. So right there. And I also like, of course, that she has some very large, and I don't mean that like improperly. I don't mean to be rude in the slightest. A very attractive young lady, but at the same time, she does have some very big jaws, and it's not because of jaws. It looks more like baby fat to me. So trying to be very careful on how we draw. That's going to be pretty important. Always fun to see you starting from scratch. Well, good. Thank you, Infinite. So so I want to be very careful with drawing those jaws. I mean, that would be the first place you want to exaggerate if you're doing a fun caricature where you're really bending the rules and trying to go all out. Where we're going to exaggerate her more is we're going to exaggerate a really, really big fun head and then a really, really tiny body holding ball bearings and things like that, and really try to have some fun with that. Not ball bearings, but bearings. So, but we can at least get the initial sketch going and go from there. Well, I haven't seen you live in a very long time. Sapphire Jewels. Sapphire. You aren't... Did you have another name out of curiosity, Sapphire? I would be very impressed if you are someone else that used to have a different name. I would be very impressed. And thank you so much for coming and checking out the feed. I'm trying to do more lives, people. I did it the other day, and I was very impressed to see so many people pop in. And I put up a post asking if people wanted me to keep doing it, and they absolutely said yes across the board. No one negated it in the slightest. So I'm like, well, I guess as long as I have paid commissions, I'll continue doing lives and continue, trying to keep this up. So yeah, anytime I've had it, then there you go. Is it Sir Fireful? Sephireful? Was that how? It was a long time ago when you had another channel. So there's a couple people, blasts from the past. Sir Fireful, I think, was one, and I think that they drew like some really amazing dogs and like demi-human style stuff. I don't know if that was you. Someone else that I would love to see pop back in again that I haven't seen in a long time is the Random Cuber, which I doubt that you're him. But when I look at how your name is written, if you're Sir Fireful, that would just make me all kinds of gleeful. Not you. Okay, too bad. I got close. And then my other channel. Well, I've had a lot of channels, and I still have Legacy Studio, which is going pretty crazy right now in a good way. So enlighten me. Who are you? Who are you? Let's see if I remember. I mean, hey, we got 13,000 plus folks, and if I can call you out of them, I mean, that'd be pretty sweet if I can remember. Anyway, it was before I got married. That's awesome. Wow, you are definitely a blast from the past. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out for a few minutes. Too cool. Too cool. Very nice. I love finding all you folks who've known me from when I was a wee pup, still trying to figure out who I was. And that's when the embarrassment just kicks in, right? All right. Let's just do some fun little sketching here, see if we can begin to get a theory here. All right, let's see. We're going to turn stabilization way down. In my sketches, I don't do much stabilization. I'll also turn my opacity way down so that if I do lines over top each other, they kind of increase the shadows on those lines. I'm just going to try not to look at her right now. I'm just going to try and sketch kind of a theory of what I think would be fun, and then I'll begin building up the structure from there. But I have a very mental image of what she looks like in my head, and if I can kind of go based on that, I find that that's usually the best place for me to start when it comes to caricatures. And this is, there's a lot more to this than just the face like I usually like to do. Now we got a body that we're manipulating. There's a pose that needs to be involved. There's props that need to be involved. So this one's going to be a very technical piece. So once again, I have a mental image of her, and I just kind of want to leave it at that as much as possible. I'll leave it up for you guys, but I'm going to be trying to look at her as little as possible as I get this started. So here we go. Let's get our hands dirty and get this this next caricature going on here. And I'm also going to really focus in on really getting that really large head in comparison to the body. And I'm also, she didn't send me any photos or reference of her body type. So based on her face, I'm going to make some presumptions. And of course, because we know she has a kid, if it's hers, maybe her body has gone through some things with her kid. I'm leaning towards a medium body type, but of course, I try to make them well endowed, try to give them maybe a little bit more of I try to think in how they would actually look, but at the same time, I try to give them a little bit more than they're expecting, and hopefully they find that fun. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a general pose. We'll build off of that. And I want her, she's going to be sitting on these these bearings. Okay, and so we're going to stack a couple of them up here like this. and I thought we'd like lean one against them, kind of like a tire salesman, except it's a bearing system. And I also thought, and she hasn't approved this idea. I also thought it would be kind of fun to have her kind of posed like that. And then what I was thinking I would do is, in one hand, I would like her holding a bearing, and in the other hand, I thought it'd be cool if she was actually wearing a bearing on her wrist, like that. And then she's got the T-shirt idea, and I think she wanted that. And I think she also actually wanted a beanie. And I do have a picture of her with a beanie on, but once again, I'm not going to look at the photos. I just kind of want to go off of what I'm thinking I'm seeing, and I think that'll help just kind of keep things kind of cute. Because I know I had like a mental image of what I saw with her, and I know she definitely had some very specific teeth, the two front teeth, very specific teeth. So I knew that was going to be fun in a good way. Excuse me, don't mean to burp on you guys. But I know that was definitely something where I'm like, okay, if I can exaggerate that in a good, cute way, that would definitely be something that I think she would like, because she is not afraid to smile. And you can tell, if you look at just who she is, you can kind of tell her personality. And I love when you can recognize the personality, just based off of pictures. You can see the attitude in someone. And I think she wanted the beanie, and I think she wanted it like a rustic orange. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw in this beanie. And the thing is, if you're not getting a likeness now, that's perfectly fine. That's not the concern. Right now, we're just working on the design theory, and then from there we'll go. Sapphire Jewels Studio hasn't responded back. I'm very curious to know if I know the Sapphire person, if I remember them from previous comments in the past. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and have some fun with the idea of the chin. Now, I'm going to try and not make the chin large, per se. I mean, yes, I am going to make it thicker, but I'm not going to over-exaggerate it. That's not my goal. My goal in this situation instead is going to be to really focus in on getting the dimples that she has. I think that's going to be the better move, is to really get those dimples and pull them through the face to assist in building up the chin, but to do it in a way where everything is internal and not external, you know? It's easy to add stuff on the outside of a face, but that begins to remove the feminine side of her, and that's not the goal for me. I think to keep that feminine is going to be really, really cute, and that will be a good push. And those glasses are really, really big and fun from what I can remember. And like I said, I'm trying to not look at the photo. Just want to draw what I thought I saw, and then we'll go from there and see what happens. But I am getting to the point where I feel really good about that. And so I'll begin developing this just a little bit further, getting the body shaped down a little bit more. And then I'll look at her picture and then mine and compare to how I did. And I kind of think it'd be fun to get the hair kind of moving a little bit outside, because usually when you put on one of these beanies, your hair is just squished against your head. And so it kind of like billow out from the outside. So I think it'd be kind of fun to kind of have some movement on it. Kind of like she just kind of like sat down on the bearings in that whoop kind of feeling, and in that whoop, her hair kind of went whoop, and flipped out. And then once again, give her a little tiny neck, because she's going to go from this big face to this little tiny body. But my goal once again is to keep that very very feminine, medium-sized body. And I think if you're the right kind of woman, you will appreciate having that kind of a body type. I mean, if you want super skinny, sure, we can do that. Now, I know for a lot of guys like myself, I like a woman with a little bit of girth on her, okay? I like a woman with a little bit of size. And I think that is very attractive. A lot of women hate having that pear body shape. That is exactly what I looked for in my wife. I think that is a good look. Okay, so I'm gonna delete the neck that I drew for now, because I'm gonna make sure I try to keep it according to what I've already created here. But let's go ahead and draw over top. And since I'm not sure what I'm getting into here, I'm gonna change the color of my pen. And the goal of that is to help me differentiate the sketch from what I'm doing here so far. If you guys are enjoying this, if you would do me the greatest honor of hitting that like button, I deeply appreciate it. If you are enjoying the live streams, which we have not done in forever, or even me being here on the channel in forever, hit that like button. Just if you want to see more of this, touch my millennial heart and smack that like button so I know that that this needs to keep going. And I mean, I even, in my post that I put up the other day, and I asked you guys, do you want to see more? What's up, Dennison? Let's see, what was the word what was I saying? I lost track. Oh yeah, I put up a post saying, do you guys want to see more videos? And everyone was like, no, more live streams, more live streams. Like, honestly, it's easier just to do the live streams. Do I still do impressions? Oh yeah, I still do impressions. And actually, I've created a new character on my other channel, which is an impression of an angry Scottish man. His name is Moss. And so yeah, still do impressions, still do all the jokes and things, still try to be as comical as I can, still do it all. Okay, I'm not really getting as much line out of this as I want, so I'm going to tighten up my opacity a little bit. I don't remember if she said she wore a hoodie, but if she did, that would be kind of cute, actually, because I like drawing people in hoodies where they have their sleeve rolled up to their elbow. I always enjoy that. Okay. There we go. Oop, hang on, I got a message. Let me check my Facebook. Okay, good. All right, my client just saw that he has some proofs to send out, so he's good to go there. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna give her some hips. And I want to get that leg in there. And admittedly, I like giving thicker legs on characters, especially women. I think it's kind of fun and bubbly when they have thicker legs. So I do that in my stuff, and I haven't had anyone complain yet, at least. And then I make the leg bigger at the top, and then I thin it at the bottom. But I mean, one thing that I enjoy, when I first met my wife, she wore a lot of jeans that were very tight around her legs, and then like bell-bottomed at the bottom, and I always thought that was really cute on her. And so for that larger build, I try to play that same look in the sketches that I do. Admittedly, I try to make that pear body shape on a lot of women that I draw, unless they're absolutely obviously skinny, or they're a different body shape. I kind of like that shaping. So that plays a lot into my initial design. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and make up some quick hands here, just temporarily. And looking at the shape of that hand, I think it would make more sense to kind of go this way with that bearing, kind of like that. Okay. So I don't like the body shape just yet. It doesn't feel quite feminine enough. It feels more bulky than it feels feminine. So what I'm going to do is focus in on tightening up that waist. And then from there, we'll begin building in that feminine form a little bit more. But we got a great start. I mean, overall, I feel really great about the initial sketch. I feel that's going to be kind of what she's looking for. Unless she wants to be sitting on it, and if that's the case, it's not easy enough, but that is something that certainly I can make changes on, so that's not going to kill me. But once again, it all comes down to when you hire a caricaturist, you're hoping that they actually use their creativity on you first, and then from there, then you work out the bugs, especially if it's a logo. So let's go ahead and drop that layer down. I'm going to merge all of my sketch layer together because I do like how that looks. I'm going to drop it down just enough so I can still see the body type. And then I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to begin developing out the body type a bit more. All right, hang on a sec. Another message. Did we fix the dual version of them together? I'm waiting on their approval of the individual ones before I put them back together, just in case they want any alterations. It'll be pretty quick to assemble them together. I redrew Skittles about 4 times, so I need to redo their dual version. Boosh. Okay. Okay, where was I? We are going to try and redo the body. And once again, what I'm going to do here is I am going to try and use some form of anatomy, which I'm not very good at. But let's see what happens here. So what I do is I try to draw a triangle off of the neck to kind of help. It would usually actually be the collarbone area. And then I try to draw what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going blank here for a minute. Bear with me here. But basically, I'm just trying to build the form off of the ribs off of the rib cage. And I do like how the lower body looks. It just doesn't feel very feminine yet. So that's why what I'm going to end up doing here is really trying to squeeze that waist a little bit tighter before it goes out to the legs, and see if we can kind of build that up. And then if I can keep the shoulders as small as possible, that keeps that feminine style. Like right here, I don't like how this chest placement is right now. Might be a little too high. I'm trying to keep them tiny, but relative size to the body here. And I kind of want to. I'm turning this into a bit of a hourglass kind of figure, but I'm still trying to do that by thinking a bit more like, here's the small side I want, here's the big side I want, let's get it through there. That's kind of the impression I'm trying to go for off of this structure. So I guess what you could call this is an abstraction. You guys know I do abstractions of the face based on the Proco teaching method that Court Jones does based off of the original masters when it comes to caricature and cartooning. But I was trying to remember the name I was using. I think it was, oh, you were using your real name at that time. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, let's keep going on this. I'm going to make my pen a little smaller here so I can kind of maybe I'm just going to try, I'm going to try and draw this as if I know what I'm doing and see how it looks. So I'm trying to just basically go ahead and sketch out based off of my initial sketches here. So we're coming in nice and tight. It would come down here to the belly button like this. It would come up from the belly button the other direction here. Belly button would sit about here. Okay. And then the back of the shirt would kind of come down like this and turn before you get to that waist. Beg your pardon. Every time you hear that beep, that is my client, so I want to make sure I'm taking care of him first. 10-4, I'll let you know thanks. Good. Cool beans. It was 10 years ago or more. Good heavens. Okay. Actually, Surfireful might have come from, now that I think about it, they might have come from, what is it? Back when I was on, hang on, bear with me. I'm thinking back to when I was on, shoot, what was the name of that website? DeviantArt. DeviantArt. That was what it was. DeviantArt. I have used models in this, and I did enjoy using them. Tim Michael Draws? Well, I had Tim Michael Arts. Tim Michael Arts was where it started, and technically the channel is still Tim Michael Arts. But I stole a friend's login that she used to use, and she was kind of the one who inspired me to draw. And so I stole her login and I used it as the channel name, which was Draw Too Much. Okay, I hate how this is looking. Let's delete that. Let's delete this. So far, I like the original body style. All right, hang on a sec. I need some reference. I want to make sure I get this right. You definitely don't want to mess up on the female figure. Pinterest. While we're doing this, I'll crack open a second RC. All right, reference bodies. All right, that one's actually really helpful right there. Might be a little overly detailed. Most of these references are paintings and things that aren't body related, body structure related. I'm just looking for something that comes similar to it. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's simple enough. I'm gonna skip that one. I'd like a little bit more of a full body anatomy and pose. Okay, that'll work. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're looking pretty good there now. I want that original body style. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Okay, so if your body was folding in half, it would crease right there. And technically, if I was doing this a bit more illustrative, we would probably take that straighter. So it would be better to crease that inward there. And then we'll add the hip here. Right? Because the hip would then... But that's if I rotate the... Let's see if I rotate the body. Which would be kind of cool. I don't usually do that. But then if I did that, then this would also need to rotate. Okay. By the way, thank you so much for the likes, everybody. I see 6 likes. I deeply appreciate that. So what if I did rotate the hip? See, that looks kind of cool. If I did rotate the hip, then that position would change. And this would become lower. Which, when I draw out the... Yeah, I don't think that would work so well. Unfortunately, I think it's cute. But the problem with that is then that takes the foot and that sticks it out more towards us. Which then doesn't make her look like she's leaning very well on that. But that'll bring the knee in like that. And then that would turn the foot on the inside a bit more this way. I don't know, part of me likes that. So then the foot would come out this way. And if we put the pants on here like that, kind of like that, it would be kind of fun. And then the belly button would sit here. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I want to change up the chest a bit more. Like I said, we make sure to oversize over undersize, and I try to be balanced. I don't try to, blow things out of the water. I try to be very gentle in this situation always. And then also, of course, I draw like this, but then you might want to put them in something a bit more constrictive, aka bra. So we'll rework that here in a minute, probably. But that does help me at least get the anatomy a bit closer to what I was going for, maybe. Okay. All right. So far away, that looks much better when it comes to the body type. It feels a little better. I feel like I'm twisting the body a bit better, so I feel much better about that. Let me go check my messages really quick here. with this client and make sure that I know what she wants to be wearing, because if she said she wears hoodies a lot, then I'll know where to take this the next step, which will actually save me a bit of time, but that will depend on what she wants here. So let me check on that really quickly. Don't forget, guys, if I can answer any of your questions, don't be afraid to ask. More than happy to answer. Let's see here. Go find my messages with her. Okay. Jeans and a t-shirt and tennis shoes. So definitely a beanie. And actually, I kind of aced that beanie. That's cool. A little bigger, but yeah, totally works. Tennis shoes, light gray t-shirt, and jeans. Exaggerated head and bearings. So I think we got the right idea. And the initial sketch, the initial offering that I told her, what did she want? Vision is sitting on top of bearings with the words, "The bearing lady keeps us rolling" at Gerber's of Montana. Okay. Bearing lady keeps us rolling. That's no problem. So I'm going to continue with this theory I have here. And what I will do, that way I don't have to alter too much of what I was already doing, to make it look like she's sitting on them a bit more, which I was not doing initially, is I will just take the bearings and I will slip them under her body a little bit more. And I will put them more behind her legs. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now with my initial sketch. So I'm going to put it more under her legs so she looks like she's kind of sitting on them. And that also helps with taking her back foot and maybe putting it against the bearing a bit more. So it's going to be a bit more of a natural pose. All right, let's go ahead and save our progress. I feel super good about what we got going on here. I love it. So let me go ahead and save. And I save this directly to my, let's go to client art. These are all my different clients that I've had over the years. And, let's see, I don't think I have her in my files yet. What I will do, folks, just to make sure to protect her, is I will be moving her name off of here. And I know that her name is already like on her name badge and stuff, but still saving like whatever stuff I can to protect her. So let me type up her name here. And I'm gonna save her in my files. That way, anytime I save, I will be saving directly to my cloud. All right. Very cool. And we'll just save that illustration so we have it. And now I'm going to go ahead and start paying a little bit more attention to her face and really start locking that in. And we'll come back to the body here in a little while and get that closer to the ultimate goal here in time. I do think we're getting that body shape much, much better. We're getting that feminine look in there a lot more. So that is definitely working out the way I hope. So I'm just going to drop the opacity on it just enough where it still holds that figure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge it with my sketch layer that I already did of her and her hands. That way that's all there. So far, I love what I got going on here. So we're going to go ahead and focus our attention in on the face now. Try and get that closer to looking like her. And get that personality perked up there. And it should look pretty sweet. I'm feeling really, really good about this. So we're going to go ahead and save this. And we're going to go ahead and get started on the next stage. That's the thing I like, is if I can do my best to not actually see them until I get to actually drawing them. I think that personally helps me, because I get overly, just watch the last 3 or 4 live streams I've done. Good heavens. That'll tell you everything you need to know about how overly focused I become, and that totally hurts me in the end. So let's go ahead and darken up this blue a little bit and make sure my stabilization is still low, my opacity is still low. I'm on my own layer, and now I can go ahead and start just quickly, without doing too much looking up. I want to try and just kind of get what I think I see in her face. She has larger eyelids. She has a little bit of makeup on, but some of the pictures she sent me, she doesn't have much on. So I'm trying to keep that fairly light. She does have big bags under her eyes, which I do as well when I smile or grin. Big bags under the eyes, which push up the bottom of the eyes, which does add a lot of personality to you. So I want to make sure I get that. Okay. I'm just trying to draw fast like I would at like Disney or something like that. Just really trying to keep that speed up. So I'm not thinking too hard about what I'm doing. Okay. Her nose is definitely a different shape than I gave her, but still I think that considering what I did without having any recollection of her as I was drawing this, I still did a pretty good job. So I don't want to alter what I did by too much. I'm going to keep the form not as I'm just going to pull back on the bend in the nose that I put, but I'm just going to kind of give her a little bit more of that nose that she has by doing it in extra drawing, extra lines within the nose that I already kind of preliminarily built for her. Now, her mouth is very much directly across, so I'm going to pull out a little bit about that V that I had, keep it nice and wide, but it does look like her top lip does push very, very hard against her teeth. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give her that V, but I'm going to do it by adding below the lip, so it gives that pressure against her teeth. And I really, really want to get these two front teeth specifically. Now, one picture, her two teeth are overlapping her lips, and the second picture from the side that we're utilizing, her lip is overlapping those two teeth. I personally think her lip overlapping those two teeth is a bit more attractive, and I think she'll prefer that more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the structure of the lip to sit above those teeth. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and draw in that chin structure there. I'm just putting in some general shaping for laugh lines and cheekbones and such. These will very quickly get erased once I get further into this, or not drawn in the final. Okay. And less lines definitely is going to help her stay youthful. So I try to keep as few lines as possible. The more lines that I'm adding here, you can see she's instantly just aging with every new line. What's up, Caesar from Brazil? Awesome. All right. Let me also find that reference photo of her in her beanie. And I think her kid was in that photo, so I will not be sharing that with you guys. I know I had a photo of her a little bit before where her kid was there, but I'm trying to protect her, of course. She's a paying client. She deserves that protection. So, oh, she's got some cool eyebrows that I missed. I didn't see that until I looked at this photo where she's looking directly at me. Nice, sharp, angular nice sharp angular eyebrows. Definitely want that in this image. That will add a lot to her likeness for sure. Really, really sharp, very manicured. Manicured eyebrows? Probably not the right term. Okay, so let's get this beanie put in here. Okay, and I do like the size of the beanie that she's wearing. It's a very, very large beanie with a very large band. Without getting too personal with your finances, this caricature is more realistic than that of your previous caricature. Is there any price difference between the two? Oh, yes. There definitely is. To put this mildly, this caricature is about 2 times the price. Clip Studio! Always Clip Studio. Clip Studio is way better than Photoshop. And way more affordable. Alright, we're going to build up on this hat on her head, because I think that will be kind of cute to add a little bit more to the top of it. But I don't want it to look too messy, so well, maybe we'll just stop like that for right now. We'll put some of these lines in here. So I charge different for a face, and then I charge different for a face to waist. I charge different from a face to waist and body. I charge different from a face to waist and body with a background, black and white, color. And then I add in props. If you want props, then those cost extra. Do you want verbiage, any kind of special names, any special fonts? That's extra cost, unless I choose to do discounts on those things. And 9 times out of 10, I try to discount things of that nature fairly quickly. So there's a lot of things I'll throw in for free, and then that will hopefully alter the price and make it a little bit more. My prices are exorbitant in comparison to other artists. I'm very expensive. Hopefully I've proven in the last couple days why I'm so expensive. Because I am much more picky than your standard theme park caricaturist. I try not to just quickly do something. There's a certain point in time where you have to change gears and do exactly that, but I really want to make sure that what I do is, especially if you're doing something as important as a logo, my goal is to really cram out something cool for you. So, and you can see that we went far beyond something that was supposed to take an hour and a half for one caricature, and we worked on it for 6 hours plus. So, I mean, like I said, there's lots of times that I lose money, and most times I lose money, but that's as simple as it is. I found the more you give for free, the more fussy people can be. Exactly. 100%. Aaron knows, and Aaron's doing this professionally too. So yeah, the more you give for free. And the truth is, when my prices were lower, I did have a lot more clients, and they were a lot more fussy. And thankfully, to the glory of God, my name got out there a little bit, and people were just happy to be drawn. That's a very exciting time when you get to that point, because they're like, I don't care what you draw, just draw me. I just want Tim Lee to draw me. That's an exciting thing. Yeah, Clip Studio rocks, man. Definitely Clip Studio. Did you say something, hon? Oh, do I get a kiss? I would like one. You're not allowed to leave. What do you think?
Cute. Is that your
That's my
FPV?
no. The FPV one's different order completely. So this one here is this one girl right there.
Yeah.
So I think with the glasses, it's really going to add a lot.
Yeah, that looks very cute.
So thank you.
Okay, cool.
You have fun. Keep in touch. Okay. Is there anything you need from me other than the garbage? No, unless you go somewhere. No, I don't think so. Oh, I have theories. I have theories. Michael's is a dangerous place. I love you too, baby. See ya. In this memento, I'm drawing a caricature to a friend. Well, that's great. Good for you. Get some work done. Get some artwork done. All right, let's get these eyeglasses here, and looking at the design I did on them, I need to bring them more closer to the center of her face. So I'll draw them coming down her nose here a little bit more than I did before. I just want them really big and prominent. I think that's more fun. By the way, my wife just left, so that means that I'm on dog duty now, so there will be some times where I'm going to have to hop up and get the dogs taken out, and so that will be something. And then also, I got to actually work on my other YouTube channel. I have to record a gaming video today, preferably more than one if I can keep my energy up. I have 5,500 people over on my other YouTube channel waiting for me to play another episode of one of the games I've been playing for them, and I skipped last week, and they are very patient with me, especially now that my health is not so fun. But we'll hopefully have that fixed by the end of March, and we'll figure some more of that out as time comes. Okay, and she does have that dimple. Let's pull it a little bit lower there. Okay. She has much more negative space here than I'm giving her. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, I love this. I absolutely love this. I think this is a super fun caricature. Hi, Sam Sam. How you doing, sweetie? You want up here real quick? You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, okay, fine. I got you. I got you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you want your licks, but I was about to say I don't want you messing up my glasses, but you already did. You already did. You already messed up my glasses. Why'd you mess up my glasses? Why'd you mess up my glasses? Why'd you mess up my glasses? Oh, do you want it on the back? Okay, hang on. Don't fall. Don't fall. Are you where you want to be? You good there? Yeah? Okay. Is that where you want to be? You good? Okay, well we'll try this for a few minutes, but unless you're wanting down. Bear with me a second. I'm not sure what she's doing. You okay? Are you okay? Are you trying to get down? Make up your mind. You can't lay like that. Lay down, sweetie. Lay down or come down. Your choice. Because I can't work like this, Sam. There you go. What you doing? You coming down? You coming down. Okay. All right. I love you. How about if you go play? Go on. Atta girl. You're adorable. She'll sometimes sleep on my back while I'm working. I gotta admit, I knew she wouldn't. She was too hyper, but still. Funny. Okay. Let's see. I'm drawing. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and make the next layer here. I think we're ready to go ahead and start doing the official drawing here. So let's go ahead and we'll leave the glasses on their own layer, face on its own layer, and then body on its own layer, and there we go. All right. She's a corgi. She's an awesome little corgi. American corgi, actually, specifically. Okay, let's get to inking here. All right, let's get our stabilization all the way up, our opacity all the way up, and it's time to make some magic. Zoom in on the face here. Let's do it. right. Okay. So for everyone who might be like, wow, you're getting paid a lot for caricatures, I am getting paid a lot for caricatures, but the thing you don't understand, for those who are like, oh gosh, this is what I should be doing, is I might be getting paid a lot for caricatures, but I'm not making a lot of caricature sales right now. So that is the gist of it. I have not marketed myself for doing caricatures in a while. And because of that, I've fallen off the radar, and my friends are helping me get back out there because I have some people that I've drawn who are just my constant amazing supports, and when they get my name out there, then I'll make another caricature order here and there. But no, I do not make as much money as you may think in this. So I might sell in my slower season, I might sell a caricature a month. In my faster season, in my fastest season, when I was really into this, going hardcore, I was backed up a year, doing a caricature a week, and I did not have any extra orders. I mean, like, I didn't have any room for extra orders for a year, and people were waiting a year to get caricatures drawn by me, and I just couldn't do it. I was exhausted, and I was charging an arm and a leg. I was charging the same price then as I am now, um, and people still kept coming. And then some other people joined in the industry that I was doing it for, in the drone industry. And once that happened, and people saw that there was somewhere else to get their caricatures a bit cheaper, then they went to them. But those people were more graphic designers trying to do caricatures, and most of them were contacting me going, how much would you charge to do a caricature on this logo that I need done? And they're like, wow, you're expensive. I'm expensive because I'm technically the only one, in the industry that I was in at that time doing it. And so that's just how that kind of played out. But like I said, I got absolutely exhausted. I burned out completely. And when that happened, I had to hang up my spurs. So I put everything down, I gave refunds back, and I walked away. And I needed a long break before I started coming back. And I only have just begun trying to come back again. And it will take a couple years, I'm sure, to even begin getting back to any kind of speed again. So I charge a lot. What I charge is worth it, but at the same time, yeah, there are people out there who can do it for you much, much cheaper than I can, and who will do it for you much, much faster than I can. But the end result of it, of course, is the heart that goes into the piece that you get from them might be a little different than the heart that I put into it, because I literally exhausted myself. I literally went into sleep deprivation and working a full time job, and then coming home and working a full time job in caricatures, while also still trying to make YouTube videos for my passions that I enjoy. Caricatures was no longer fun for me anymore because it was just so much work. So you gotta find your balance, or else you're gonna feel it really quick in this industry, and not give up. And if you do give up, remember that doing that means you're gonna lose a lot of followership. You're gonna lose a lot of attention, and that's just what's gonna happen because you're choosing to back up. I couldn't help it. I didn't have a choice. I just could not keep up. It was time to stop, or I can't even begin to know what would have happened if I had not given up. How much I had messed my body up and messed my brain up. I was just so exhausted. And here coming up in March, I'm going to be having surgery to have my gallbladder removed and a couple other things that they need to do. And I haven't been feeling very well recently. I sleep an awful lot. I'm pretty exhausted. So, uh, even now, my health is not up to par. That's why I draw my comic, just to keep drawing something. Yeah, and I mean, if the sales are slow, it's just nice to be able to draw your stuff. The problem is when the sales are high, you're not drawing your stuff, and that's heartbreaking in itself. Is you're so busy drawing everybody else's stuff. Anytime you pick up a pencil or an art or a brush to paint anything for yourself, I mean, like I did last night. I painted for 2 hours last night. Um, the level of guilt that you feel for not for not working on clients' stuff, that guilt is huge. And you hate to be that guy who's like, I just need to not draw your stuff and to draw my stuff, but it's like it's really awkward to say that you're in pain because of too much of a good thing, but that is exactly what happened to me. Exactly what happened to me, exactly what happened to my body, and I'm paying the price for that now in the future because I worked too hard and too long, and I allowed myself the extreme exhaustion that comes with success. It's not a good thing. It's not something to do to yourself at all. Okay. I like it. I'm going to leave in that line on that side and erase the one on this side for now because I don't want to over exaggerate this and mess it up. Also, take this cheekbone structuring here that I put in here and we'll swap it for a laugh line stretch. Hopefully that'll help keep her somewhat youthful. Okay. Nice. I love how this is looking. I really hope that she likes it. Cuz this is definitely there's a bit more inspiration in this piece than some of the other ones I've been working on. There's a purposeful reason for drawing this one, and I love that. It's nice to have that. You forget about that. And you don't know in the near future when she actually gets it and I tell her that she can go and see the actual process of the drawing on YouTube, she might really enjoy seeing how all this went down. That'd be great. And hopefully, I find that doing this gives extra value to the person who spent the money to have it done. That seeing the heart that actually goes into this um is an extra dollar, is worth the extra dollars spent because then they can see that, oh gosh, yeah, every penny that I spent on this, I can see that his heart is overly invested, in a good way. And in such a way where 9 times out of 10 I don't make back the money that I actually took the sale for. And it's something that you can share with your family. It's something that you can share with your kids, something that will inspire you to even pick up a pencil yourself. I've drawn caricatures of people and then realized in the future that they used that and they retraced it and they drew it over and over and learned how to draw caricatures because they took a caricature that I drew of them and messed with it. I mean, how cool is that, you know? That's a really cool thing, you know? And the more that your heart goes into the piece, the more they feel that when they get to finally see it. I mean, I need to send her a proof pretty quickly here and show her, you know, the progress because with the amount of money that her office is paying for her to have this, it's one of those things where you can't just draw it and send it to her and be like, "It's done." You actually need them to approve the work so that, you know, they're actually getting what they want, especially when you know it's for a logo. That's when things get more serious. And I hate that. I don't like that, but yeah. Trying to see where your link is to possibly order a commission. I don't actually have a link. I do everything through word of mouth. So, um, I can talk with you on Facebook. I can talk with you on Instagram. The basic premise that I say is it all starts at $100 and goes up from there. You know, um, that's the general gist of things. Everything starts at $100. Now, of course, I've drawn you many times, man. So, um, if you're wanting a commission, I of course you've taken my class. I can give you a discount on that, and I look for every way possible to give discounts. But yeah, if you want to get drawn, no problem. Or if it's someone you want drawn, we'll talk. Okay, we'll chat. We'll chat. Okay. I had a website for a while with all my prices, and no one ever went to it. And I learned very quickly that when it comes to how I sell caricatures, the way I connect with the person and know what their product is the best way to make the sale for me. Because if I just become the box cutter website that sells caricatures, it's not the same thing, and I'm not as inspired. Once I get to know that person, like I've gotten to know you and other people, then I enjoy giving discounts. I enjoy tailoring something instead of just having a you want a caricature, here's the cost on your website, you know. All my stuff is all tailor made for the person. Okay, sounds good. Wherever you want. Now, admittedly, that did sound like someone at the front door. So, guys, give me a second. I'll be right back. Don't run too far away. I'm just gonna go check and see what the dogs are barking at, because I do think that sounded like a box at the door or something. So I'll be right back. Okay. Mail. Mail arrived. Okay. Let's turn off this. And I hate this music. What on earth am I listening to? Let's find something better. How about Fireflies by Owl City? Love Fireflies from Owl City. No idea why. Now I'm going to turn it up a little bit in my ears. Ah, so nice. Okay. Let's get back to work. When it comes to overseas sales, if they're able to pay over PayPal and the conversion can be done through PayPal on whatever currency they have, I work best with that. And then the main thing is I don't mail things. Everything is a digital download, so being overseas doesn't stop anything. What does stop stuff consistently is language barrier. I honestly make every effort not to make a sale if I cannot properly have a conversation with the person I'm selling to. Not because I don't like them or anything, but simply because if they are struggling to tell me what they want, or they're trying to use a translator to tell me what they want, I feel so incredibly bad, and I would hate to mess up something as important as an expensive caricature for them. So if I have a way to redirect them to someone else or something of that nature, I try. But 9 times out of 10, when I do overseas sales, everything is paid through PayPal, and everything is handled that way, and everything is handled digitally. This client is paying extra actually to have a print done for her and delivered to her. Thankfully, she lives within my community here in Montana, so I'll be able to send that over to her by hand. If they asked for if they asked for a print and wanted it mailed out, I would try to stop them as much as possible and try to send them somewhere else. I have a large printer that I use that I don't like using, but when it's requested, I make an effort, So I quoted this person 30 extra bucks to print this for them, which will hopefully give me a little bit of breathing room to have a few prints that I can do so I can get the color values right, because that is always a problem whenever I'm doing prints, is that the first print never has the right color values, and then I have to go and make adjustments, and it's a pain to do a proper large scale print, especially with my printer. So that's the nature of the beast with that. So everything is digital as much as humanly possible when it comes to overseas sales. I'm gonna try and crack my window open here a little bit. It's so dark in here, but our sun may be... Oh gosh, yeah, our sun is unfortunately a bit too intense. Drat. I like having the sun in here, but not working today. There we go. I got one window open, but I like sun sometimes. Other times I like a nice dark studio. But I've been in this dark studio for 2 or 3 hours already, so it's kind of like, I'd like some sun. All right, this looks really cool. I'm very pleased with this so far. Okay. All right, so far I'm super pleased with this. I'm going to draw the body separately on a separate layer just in case if I hate it. It was difference in currency that always made it hard for overseas sales in my case. Yeah. And admittedly, I fudge my price as much as I can to help that person. So I'll end up, unfortunately, taking losses when I take those orders. But, I mean, it's another client. It's another opportunity to bless someone. I usually ended up taking the fall for that. But for the sake of giving someone special, I remember one that I did was someone had passed away and they wanted a caricature of their loved one before they had died. It's Stuff like that, where you're just kind of like, well, I don't have a choice in the matter, you know? That's the kind of thing that is gonna change someone's heart, change someone's day. I have to. I don't have a choice, you know? Okay. I like how this is turning out. This feels really, really good. And these are jeans, so we'll gene them up a little bit. All right, that waist looks super awkward, but we'll come back to that. That seems really wrong for some reason. So I love the legs. The legs look awesome, but that waist is really messed up. So I messed up somewhere there. I'm leaning towards it being on this side that I messed up, but that is exactly why we draw it on separate layers. We duplicate layers. So what I'm going to do now is, I'll mess with it a little bit, because if I don't figure this out, that will very much perturb me for the rest of the drawing. I'm going to try and tone it down on that side. I also lean towards her torso. It helped. That helped a lot, actually. Okay, that's better. All right, we will come back to that some more. And the problem is, once you can see that belly button and stuff like that, that can spoil things too. So by turning off that layer, it might become more beneficial. But we'll get there. The other thing is, I might have the hips messed up a little bit still. I think that might be part of my issue. What's up, David? Yeah, that line helped, but it still doesn't look right. There needs to be a bit more to this. Unfortunately, I'm kind of wondering Admittedly, let me make another duplicate layer here. And I'm kind of wondering what would happen if I removed this and instead I took it from up here. I don't want to make her too fat at all, but that might help a little bit and just give some more structure in here. Maybe. Well, if you think about the shaping of the body in this moment, and look at my original sketch lines, I think my problem is there. Because right here is her abs leading up to her rib cage here. So her rib cage wraps around here, which would mean that her torso, so right there. Tough situation there. We're going to come back to that. I'm just going to keep drawing on the separate layers for now until I feel better about it. Where's her face? Yeah, there we go. Let's not keep that face off. Goodness. Yeah, that's going to bug me until I figure that out. I need to maybe pull up some more references to verify that I have that right. Okay. All right. So now we're on to... Yeah, I hate anatomy. I didn't study it as a kid because I wanted my best to keep my head clear and not draw a bunch of naked women. But it's kind of one of those things where you got to learn that anatomy one way or another. And I did my best to learn outside of... I mean, I never went to art school. My mom didn't want me to go to art school for that reason and stuff like that. So there was a bunch of reasons why I didn't pursue the anatomy side of things. It has definitely put me on hold when it comes to what I am capable of drawing now as an adult that has studied some of that stuff more, but all the same, if I had that knowledge earlier in my past, I probably would have been a bit better off. Maybe not mentally, but at least in art, I would have had it better off. Unfortunately, some of my favorite artists that I really am impressed by their art and impressed by the women that they draw and stuff like that, then you find out that they've been drawing stuff. certain specific people, and you're like, oh, who's this model that he's drawn? Oh, a star. Oops. My mom used to send back art books I had ordered because they had nude art in them. Exactly. I don't like how that looks. I love everything about this, but I'm screwing up on that anatomy somehow. And it's something so simple and stupid, I'm sure of it. You know what? I'm putting money on this. I think I know what it is. Here's my thought. Yeah, I'm thinking the leg is too wide here. And I went right to the butt. So you were saying to tighten up like a butt line here. So I'm leaning towards that's kind of what my problem is. So if we draw the crotch coming up, I mean, technically, if I was to draw her in a bikini, then that line would come up here. This line would come up here and loop around the hip. That would be like that. And then that hip would bounce about here, and then it would go up. But because it just doesn't look right, I feel like I need to cut back heavily on the width of this hip and turn that leg more towards us. That's where I'm at right now. So for her sake, it actually skinnies her up more, which is perfectly fine. I mean, she'll probably come back and be like, hey, can you skinny me up even more? It's just kind of like the nature of what would actually end up happening in those situations. But I'm leaning towards something a bit more like this. So if we cut shorter into the body, unfortunately removing some of that nice hip range. Yeah, like that. That looks better. And then that would come up to here like that. And that looks better. Thinner from front thigh and slight curve to make hint of a butt. Yeah. Yeah. Because based on this, that joint would come up like this. This joint would come up like this. Because her body is facing more towards us. Her whole torso is rotating to get this forward flex like that. Yeah. Yeah, and caricatures designed by committee don't end up playing out very well sometimes. But no, I think that's it. I mean, it just comes to being annoyed by it enough to know what's going on and then alter, as you move forward. So that's what I'm going to go off of right now and try. So let's build up the stabilization. That is the one thing I absolutely hate is when you get a client who's like, yes, I want to get us drawn, but it needs to be approved by my bosses, by my team, by my and then by the time all is said and done, you're sitting there just going like, yeah, this is never going to get done because no one's ever going to fully agree on it. Oh gosh, look at that. That helped. That really helped. Yeah, that really helped. Let's turn off that layer for now. And I'll probably make some more adjustments to it still, but I mean, that in itself, oh boy, did that help. Goodness, did that help. Yeah. The other thing I want to do, where did I put her kneecap? On that one? Okay, so I'm gonna merge these two layers together. There we go. I want to try this first. I want to move her whole body up just a touch, not by much. And then I'm also going to grab here at the waist, I think. And let's see what happens if we pull it towards the body a bit more. Yeah. Pull it away from the body? Absolutely not. So I think that I made her torso too long. Bit more like that. Yeah, that did it. That did it. One more step in the right direction. Okay. That did it. Yep, there it is. That's what we're talking about. Save that. Let's not lose that one, that's for sure. Alright, but in saying that, let's delete all this other junk. Big difference that made. Big difference. I think we can delete that layer. That one's good. That one's good. This one, we can drop the opacity on even more. You know what? I need a break from this, so I'm going to do a little coloring here for a bit. Because my brain's getting worn out on the drawing side. So let's do some quick coloring here and see if we can start building up some tones. And then maybe I might actually stop and go take a break. How long have we been going? 3 hours? 2 hours? We've been going 2 hours and 44 minutes. That's plenty long enough. But we'll go ahead and put in some color first here really quick. And since I have all my layers broken apart the way I do, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of quick coloring here since I don't know what reference layers are linked up or not. So we'll just do it the old school way and actually color in the lines per se. Ooh, I need something to drink. My stomach's flipping. Oh, a relaxing feeling as you feel it settle. Whew. Actually, you know what I think I might do? I think I might send her the concept of this. Give her a progress report on it. think that would be the best thing to do right now. Just because if she doesn't like it, then I can start making changes now instead of going into too much detail. So let's go ahead and select this. Okay. Not what I meant to do. Save as. All right, let me go ahead and send this over for approval. I thought I saved it. There it is. Hang on, guys. I'll be right there. I'm typing out my message to her. Always got to do the sales pitch. Oop. You got to love Facebook because you can tell when they've seen it. So it's like, oh, she's seen it. What does she think? And then you're kind of on hold waiting to see what they think. So I might give it a second and see what she does. Ooh. She likes it. All right, we'll see what happens. She may stop in and actually watch the show for a little bit. See if we get in trouble for it. Alright, now that I've lifted up her shoulders a bit higher, I don't like how they connect to her neck, so I might be adjusting that a little later on. I kind of almost want her to be in a slant, like a um lifted shoulder kind of way, so I might change that a little. What am I, oh, there we are. There it is. It's like, what is going on? Why am I not getting this to work for me? So I'm wondering if I want to do more like this. Have her shrugging a bit more. Unfortunately, that lifts the arms up higher, but yeah, I think that might help, but I need to bring them out just a bit further, and I'll roll them so they're not masculine. At least I hope they'll be less masculine that way. Well, she seems happy. I like when we have happy clients, especially when they've never worked with me before. That's always nice. That's the best kind of job you can possibly have, is making people smile, working on their caricatures. Okay, getting that shoulder up there was a better move, though I might have to do some difference. Do you have inks on different layers? Yes, I do. I have multiple inks on different layers because if, I mean, like some of the pictures I have of her, her glasses are set a little lower on her eyes. So if I just want to move her glasses down, then I can just move that layer with the glasses on it instead of having to make a lot of alterations. Her lower body is on a different layer, which, yeah, is still that case. So things of that nature. I want to make sure I have some flexibility in case I need to move things around a little bit, you know. So let's go ahead and get some hair color in there because I want to kind of just get this fleshed out a little bit more. I'm getting tired of looking at the line work. I need to get some color in here and make it pop a little bit more. Her hair has multiple different colors, so as you guys know, I always put in just a random base color and then I adjust as we move forward. So don't freak out if I don't get the hair color right on the first get-go. It will get better as I keep moving forward. I got a message. Let's see what happened. Okay, nope. That was just my phone delaying texts in from my client. There we go. This is definitely a fun one, guys. This is a fun caricature. I'm enjoying the change of pace with this one. Not drawing goggles on someone for once. That's nice. And I like how we got her hair kind of flowing out a little bit. You know, that turned out really nice. I like that personality it gives her. Feels a bit more fun and welcoming. color in here is definitely going to help get the likeness a little closer too. We can get those shadows in the right places of her face. So I'm not aging her with age lines. We can do it with shadow instead, and that'll really help the caricature pop a bit more. Now, special request, rusty orange. Gotta have the rusty orange. Let's get some rustic going on here. I'm glad she went with the hat, the beanie. I think that was a good move. And I'm going to do some post cleanup on that. I'm getting a little lazy here. There we go. That's the nice thing about drawing with really, really thick line work, is it makes it really easy to clean up the edges because you have an awful lot of black outline to cover your mistakes hiding underneath the black outline. There we go. Yeah, this is going to look so cool. I'm looking forward to getting shadow and highlight on this. That's where it's really going to pop. Worst bit about comic art is you have to design costumes that can be drawn repeatedly easily. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? All right, eyebrows are a little darker than the hair. Not by much, but just a little. Which I think is a kind of proper unless you got super dark eyebrows and dark hair like I do. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do the eyebrows on the same layer as the hair. Let's darken it just slightly. There we go. Drop the opacity. I meant size, not opacity. What am I talking about? Not talking about a thing. And I see that her third eye is trying to peek out here, so we're going to cover that up. There's a little white spot here. So just click on that skin. Bye-bye. There we go. Easy enough. Let's clean up this eyebrow now. Okay. Nice. To the other side. Layers not locked. Layers not locked. So did I just do that good? No? Okay, what's going on? I don't have that. I'm drawing with skin tone. That's what I'm doing. There we go. All right, there we are. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, that looks really cool, man. She looking good. All right, let's go ahead and wake her up. My technique that is a trade secret that I have sold to the world many, many times, and you are welcome to use it yourself in your artwork if you wish. But this is something that I've developed over time, and it is a quick and fun way to quickly make your caricatures come alive. You start with a gray-blue, not gray, gray-blue. It's called a cool gray. You go in there, you get those all filled in, all nice and pretty, all right? Make sure it's all nice and clean because you're going to be locking this layer's pixels. Do the same with the teeth on the same layer if you want. Don't forget to get those gums in there too. Get everything all nice and filled in. Do not go over the lines on here. Okay, nice and clean as much as you can. Make my brush a little bigger here. There we go. Let me clean up her lip here that I kind of drew on. There we go. Now I need to clean up just below it because I had too big a brush. There we go. All right. So there you go. Now what we're going to do is take that layer, we're going to lock it. We're going to change our color to white. Now let's grab our airbrush. We're going to start airbrushing in some white for the teeth. Don't go all the way to the top. Don't go all the way to the sides. Go to the eyeball. Start in the middle. With a smaller brush, work your way up from the middle. Leave the outsides and corners still with that gray. Just get the inside. Do the same with the other eye. And there you go, right there. Now she suddenly starts to look a little bit more alive. We're getting some good progress here. Let's go back in, start working on those eyes. Different layer. She has some really beautiful, intense brown when the sun's hitting her eyes. So we're going to go in there with that intense brown. That's in a picture that I haven't shown you guys. So we're going to go in there with that nice, intense brown. Okay. We're going to change that in a second, too, because I do like how dark her eyes look in other pictures that she has, but she just has a great picture where that sun is hitting her eyes just right and reflecting all the brown in there, and it just looks right. So we're going to lock that layer now. We're going to grab something a little darker. Grab the airbrush, same as we did before, but in reverse. Start at the top over the eye. Come on down over the top. We're going to add some of that nice dark brown over top. What that's going to do is that's going to give our shadow layer specifically on where your eyelashes are covering over your eyes. We're going to go in a little deeper. And we're going to create a bit of a circle around the outside of the eye, leaving the highlight on the inside of the eye. Even more. This is going to be the last time we do this. We're going to go in with a nice, hard, deep shadow right on the top there. There we go. All right. Still looks a little dead. We can wake that up. Let's go ahead and make another layer. We're going to go full black. We're going to grab our pupil and draw it in here. Nice and slow. Make sure it's nice and round. Also, brown eyes. That means that you can actually take that a lot bigger. I hate it. Looks terrible. So let's start again. Make a new layer. We're going to start from the middle of the eye. We're going to make sure that we're getting as round as we can. There we go. Making sure that we're equal on all sides. Now, to me, that still looks a little freaky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a black line over the top of it, connecting that pupil to the sides of the eye, kind of like that. Look at that. Still not quite awake yet. There's still one more trick to wake it up even more. Actually, two tricks, but I'm only going to do one. This one here, let's go ahead and draw it in. Same kind of place. We're going to verify with the other eye to make sure that they don't look like they're cross-eyed. Looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Nice black line here, connecting that eye to the other sides of the eye. Boosh, just like that. All right, we're only going to do one trick to this one. We're going to go grab our white. We're going to make a new layer atop all the other layers, and we're going to give it a nice highlight. Step back, smile, because now she alive and awake. Here we go. Awesome. All right, let's get that skin tone looking a little better. I hate it. She looks a little jaundiced to me. I don't think we need that. So let's go with a little bit more saturation, a little bit more pink in the face. Just slightly. We're going to drop the luminosity just slightly because we're going to put in some nice highlights here in a second. Drop in saturation. A little bit more pink in that face. Drop in saturation again. There we go. Now it's starting to look like skin. It'll look a lot better once we get some more actual highlights and shadows in there, but we're doing good. Okay. I love it. I kind of just want to focus in on the face and the hair for a little while, and then I'm going to wrap up for the day here. We've been going for 3 hours and 7 minutes. So let's go ahead and start with a little bit of shadow. You know what? I'm going to do it differently. Today I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a new layer. Well, new folder. I'm going to go ahead and group my hat, hair, and face in there. So let's go ahead and copy and paste them into that folder. Let's delete this. I don't think we need that, do we? Oh, maybe we do. Let's undo. Okay, that's fine. We're going to take these three. We're going to merge them into a single layer. Merge selected layers. Now I want to go ahead and select that. And we're going to go ahead as well, and we're going to make a mask on that layer. Take that and delete it. Leaving over what we have left over, but creating a nice little mask to paint with. Now we can go ahead and start doing a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and grab red. This is what I haven't done in a while until later in the layers. We're going to go ahead and do that now. Get nice big hot red spot here, and we're going to go ahead and just start covering up this face in shadow with this red. Excuse me. Okay. Areas that are supposed to be in shadow, we'll go ahead and put them in that red as well. It's a little bit of a different technique to starting out on atmospheric shadow, but I like how it changes the face. Also going to start looking at her face here and start looking at areas where we can start adding some blush. Definitely cheeks. Not so much on the nose for her, but I'm still going to put a little bit because girls do like it on the nose. Okay, go a little bit on the nose there. And not so much in the forehead. Well, a little bit, but I'm just going to put a little bit just below this hat brim here anyway, because we're also utilizing it as a shadow. And let's go ahead and see how it turned out, shall we? I'm going to add just a little bit here under the nose, just as an extra shadow under the nose. We're going to go ahead and change this to a multiply layer and begin dropping the opacity, and let's see what happens. We do want to take it out of its folder so it affects all the layers behind it. There we go. We'll delete these unnecessary folders. Boop. And let's just start dropping the opacity until it starts to look a little natural and kind of comfy. So there it is off. We're just going to start adding in that warmth just a little bit, barely any. There you go. I'm going to say 17% for now. 15% will do just fine. Moving over to that purple-blue hue. The times I've done that are drawn on a lower layer that I can't see. Ain't that the truth? Don't you hate it? Okay, let's go ahead and get some fun shadows in the hair now and in the face. So going in with this super intense purple. Let's go ahead and find the places where those shadows need to be. Start drawing them in. I do use stabilization when I'm drawing in shadows because I want them to look super crisp. And I'm actually going to cover most of this area under here in shadow because I really do want it to hide in the background here. So I am going to go just a little overboard in here, which I don't think it'll look like it's going overboard at all, but there we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the bottom of her nose. There we go. All right, let's start looking at laugh lines and things here. So coming off the side of the face here, we got this laugh line. It just comes off to the side here. Okay. A little bit of shadow under the glasses as they touch the face. All right, other side here, same deal. Definitely want to get in that cute dimple. Okay, and it's going to carry down here through the rest of the face here. There we go. I love freaking people out by using intense purple like this. It's like, what are you doing? It's so much fun. I gotta have fun here and there sometimes. You know what, we're gonna, am I gonna do that? I might do that. We're gonna take this pretty heavy into that shadow, just for giggles, just to see if I like it. And she's in pretty heavy shadows under this eye here, so I'm going to do the same thing here. We're going to go ahead and pull that up nice and high, pull that down, and we're going to go ahead and whoop, just like that. Okay. Let's see if we can give her a little bit of shadow over her eyelid, under the bag in her eye. We're going to take that same line, we're going to put it under here. And you know, her face ducks back into her eyes duck back into her head just a little. So at least in these pictures, it looks like it. So I'm going to help her get that same look just slightly, just by giving her a little bit of shadow over her eyes, which is going to help her face just kind of duck back a little. And the dogs are saying someone's at the door. I should go check. I'm waiting on a package. My wife got some packages. I haven't gotten mine yet. Okay, but we'll go ahead and finish this up first. Thank you, kids. That's enough. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead now and put a little bit of shadow here on the sides. I'm very excited about shading this hat a bit more. I'm going to do a little bit more than I need to on this hat because I think it'll look really, really cool in the end process here. But let's just go ahead and add some shadows. I might end up actually erasing some of these shadows too, because obviously sun would be hitting certain parts of this hat, and I might be sending a bit too much of it into shadow. But I'm just curious. Curious to see what it'll look like, because we can mess around with this quite a bit. Okay, so let's see what we did. Got to get the other side of the hair first before I can actually do the transformation reveal. Okay, let's go this way. And we're going to really fill this in here. And I think I'm going to kind of put her face on this side in shadow a little bit more and see what I think of it. Since I put her cheek, her lower cheek in that much shadow, I want to see what this would look like. I'm not sure. I might take it back, but let's see what we get. I think I'm starting to lose my voice. I've been drawing too much today. All right, let's see how this looks. You ready? All right, time of magic. Maybe a bit more here. Okay. All right, so now change it to multiply. Still looks weird. Start dropping that opacity down to 0. Bring it up slow. And there you go. Now we have this really nice looking shadow. Though I kind of want to change it a little bit. We're going to go to tonal correction, hue and brightness. And let's see what happens if we take it a bit to the blue. No? Let's go blue. There we go. Bit more. Bit more. Not much. Pull it back just a little bit. There we go. Let's drop the opacity a little bit more. There we go. And let me go ahead and grab my blender. We're going to calm some of the shadow down a little bit with some blending. Just chill out. Just little bits of it here and there so it's not so completely overdone. There we go. I'm going to intensify some other things too a little later, but for now, I need to take a break. I need to go ahead and stop for now, actually. I've been working on this for a while. I think we got some spammers in here. All right, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed this so far. This has a long way to go to look like her. I think it needs definitely a lot more highlights, but it has started off strong. I am so very pleased with the progress on this one. I hope she's enjoyed it, and I hope that she stopped into the stream to see it too. There's been a lot of heart and time put into this, and of course she can go and see it from the beginning and everything we've said. So, for now though, I need to go take a break. I've been working on artwork now for 5 hours, give or take, plus the 2 hours, the 3 hours that we've been on here, so 5 hours in that time. And I also need to go and get my voice chippered back up here and then get ready on my other YouTube channel to go and get some other videos done that my other fans are waiting on. So, very, very fun. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Hit that like button for me if you've loved it. And don't forget, if you want a caricature, you can order it from me. DM me on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter if you want. And I will be very happy to help you consider buying a caricature and getting you set up. And like I said, all prices are different for every piece of art that I do. There is no standard pricing per se, except for the fact that, okay, I can get you a face. Prices start at $100, go up from there, depending on if you want face and body color, black and white, all that sort of jazz. You know the drill. So keep it crispy, my friends. 1 Tim 4:12. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time right here on Draw Too Much. Thank you so much for being interested in these live streams. You guys really rock, and I appreciate it. Until next time, y'all behave. Bye.